My name is Chris Burkett. I don't want to disclose where I'm from originally, but it's a place that rhymes with Melby. It's about 30 miles from Ashland. It's a small town. I'm just joking, of course, but my wife and I were both born and raised there, lived there 33 years, and then I went off to grad school. And actually, I moved to Knoxville, Tennessee first for work, and then I went from there to grad school. Political Science 101 to a group of freshman Ashbrook scholars. I'm also teaching my class on American Westerns called The Politics of the American Western, and we're going to watch some great John Ford films and read some good books and have some good discussions on how good directors and writers of Westerns are very thoughtful and have a deep understanding of sort of philosophy or politics or human nature. So it's going to be fun.
Okay.
And I'll probably teach a section or two of this first year seminar course that we started last year. I'm not allowed to have pets. Unfortunately, because I love dogs, I've always wanted a dog, and I don't want to say any bad things about my wife, but she never lets me have pets. I would have probably 5 dogs if I could. Part of the reason is she's allergic to cats, and she's slightly allergic to dogs, so just to not risk it, she doesn't let us have any pets. But I will tell you, my 3 daughters all love dogs, and when they moved out and got their own places, before they even got husbands, they got pets. They got dogs. So right away, because they've always wanted dogs. So I went to the University of Dallas, which is not in Dallas. It's in Irving, Texas, but nobody knows where Irving is. So I went there in 2002. I started and had a great education there. It was a great books program, and we read a lot of great stuff that I hadn't read. A lot of it I had read, by the way, as an undergrad here at Ashland. So I was really well prepared by my education here at Ashland University. It was Ashland College then when I was here, but I was pretty well prepared, I think, in terms of the stuff that we read. But it was great. It was challenging because my wife and I packed up. We had 3 daughters, as I mentioned. We loaded the whole family up, and we scraped by for 3.5 years to be able to pull this off. And then fortunately, by the grace of God, an opening came up here at Ashland, and Peter Schramm, who was here at the time, said, Burkett, apply for the job. And fortunately, I got the. It was a 1-year position. I got it. So we moved back, and I'll tell you, we barely had. I don't want to bore you with all the details of our life, but we barely had money to get back here. I had taught in a 1-week seminar at UD, and one of my profs there was kind enough to let me teach, so I could make like $700 or something. And I was waiting on that check to rent the moving truck to get back here in time to teach. So, but we made it. Cake, piece. I was gonna say piece of cake. That's too obvious. That was not going to be a pun intended pun. But yeah, cake. I can do without cake.
Okay.
Pizza. What was the other? Barbecue.
Mm-hmm.
Barbecue I cannot do without, because I like actually barbecuing. So I have a smoker. I usually in the summers I run it every chance I get. On the weekends, if I've got 6-8 hours, I'll throw something on the smoker. So I can't do it. I believe maybe have you had my smoked green beans? People think pork and all this stuff are smokers. Smoked green beans with bacon on the smoker are hands down, I think, the best thing I've ever done on the smoker. And part of the reason is because you smoke it with bacon, you can't taste the green beans. Green beans and bacon, and put in black-eyed peas, some chicken broth, some various seasonings, this and that, and then throw them on a smoker for like 3 hours, and they're good to go. So I can't do without that. Pizza is probably my favorite food of all time. And I go through phases where I'll eat pizza, but then I'll go like 3 months without eating it for just, various. I'm getting old, and I got to watch my weight and worry about my health and things like this. So, but I haven't had like cake or sugar or anything like that for a year or so. So, least favorite book, Heidegger, Being in Time. I think just too hard. I mean, I think I kind of got part of what he was trying to say in it, but part of the reason I don't like it is because it actually is between Heidegger, Being in Time, and Hegel's Phenomenology of Geist, those 2 books, what they have in common, part of the reason they're my least favorite is I think they're really thick books, that could have been done in like 9 pages, except the authors are really, really full of themselves and they like to show how smart and intelligent they are. So Hegel's got to write an entire, 500-page history of the phenomenology of Geist or spirit. And I'm like, you could really probably boil that down to like 8 or 9 pages. Well, I was going to say the Westerns class is probably the favorite class I teach. But maybe a spin-off of that, something having to do with sci-fi and politics. I mean, if we could work it in, I would love to teach Dune and Machiavelli, and there's some really great sci-fi authors. Robert Heinlein writes a lot of great stuff that sort of raises fundamental political questions of political philosophy and human nature. Philip K. Dick is one of my favorite authors of all time. I'm looking at my shelf right now of sci-fi stuff that I've got up there. So that would be fun. I would love to do a course on science fiction, and then we could watch, some great sci-fi stuff, like some of the OG Star Trek stuff. I'm not a Next Generation guy, but some of those earlier episodes, it's like 1 in every 5 is pretty good. So we could watch that, and some, there's a series, 1-season TV series called Firefly, which is fantastic. So again, it's kind of a Western in space. So the connection is, of course, it's a lot of sci-fi is sort of Westerns in space. So, but yeah, I would love to do something like that someday. Decaf, black, hot. Ooh. Wow, living or dead? Not McBrayer. Abraham Lincoln, number 1. Gouverneur Morris. There's a lot of questions I have for that guy. That would have to be asked in private at the party, probably, because he's maybe a little indelicate. I probably shouldn't say that. Now I got to find a third. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'll just say John Ford. There's like 20 others, but I'd love to have a conversation with John Ford. He's a really thoughtful, smart guy. So I'd like to know why he did what he did in some of his movies. One horse-sized duck. I think. I don't know. It seems like more of a challenge. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So 100 duck-sized horses? Yeah. How could I couldn't catch them.